They called me Potato Face until I was 17. My name is Rosalie, and I need to tell you about the night that changed everything. But first, you need to understand what it was like growing up as the ugly daughter in a family that worshipped beauty like a religion. Picture this. Every school function, every family gathering, every moment that mattered, I was the one behind the camera. Not because I loved photography, but because that's where ugly girls belonged. In the shadows, capturing everyone else's perfect moments. "Rosalie, get the camera," Mum would say, her voice dripping with that fake sweetness she reserved for public spaces. "You're so good at getting everyone's best angles." Translation: you don't have any good angles yourself, so make yourself useful. My sister Jordan never had to hold a camera. Jordan was everything I wasn't. Blonde where I was brunette, clear-skinned where I battled acne, confident where I mumbled. She floated through life like she was born for spotlights, and maybe she was. Mum certainly thought so. "Jordan's going to be a star someday," Mum would tell anyone who'd listen. "She has that special something, you know, that glow." And me? I was reliable, like a potato. The worst part wasn't the nickname itself. Kids are cruel, whatever. The worst part was that my own mother started using it. Not to my face, of course. She was too smart for that, but I heard her on the phone with her sister one afternoon when I was 15. "Oh, Jordan's trying out for the lead in the school play. She's a natural performer, just lights up the stage. Rosalie's helping with costumes, I think. She's more of a behind-the-scenes type. You know how it is. Some girls are roses, some are, well, potatoes. Both necessary, but only one gets the bouquet." I stood in the hallway holding a basket of laundry, feeling something cold and sharp settle in my chest. That's when I started planning my escape, though I didn't know it yet. Senior year brought prom season, and with it, the final humiliation that would set everything in motion. "Mum, I think I want to go to prom," I said one evening over dinner. The words felt foreign in my mouth, like speaking a language I'd never learned. Jordan looked up from her salad, eyebrows raised. "Really? Did someone ask you?" "I thought maybe I could go with friends." "Honey," Mum interrupted, setting down her fork with that gentle tone that always preceded devastation. "Prom is expensive. The dress, the hair, the makeup. It's a lot of investment for one night. I have money saved from my job at the bookstore." "It's not about the money, sweetheart." Mum's smile was patient, practiced. "It's about, well, prom is really for girls who are going to shine, you know. Girls like Jordan. You'd probably be more comfortable helping her get ready. You're so good at that kind of thing." Jordan nodded enthusiastically. "Yes." "Rosalie, you could do my makeup. You're actually really good at it when you try." I looked at my father, hoping for backup, but he was already buried in his phone. He checked out of Family Dynamics years ago, leaving Mom to rule our little kingdom of conditional love. "I'll think about it," I said quietly, but I didn't think about it. I went to the mall the next day and bought a dress with my bookstore money. Nothing fancy. A simple black number that made me feel almost pretty under the dressing room lights. I scheduled a hair appointment and even splurged on professional makeup. The night of prom, I came downstairs in my dress, heart hammering with nervous excitement. Maybe I wouldn't be the prettiest girl there, but I felt good. I felt ready to be seen. Mum was adjusting Jordan's tiara when she saw me. Her face went through several expressions: surprise, confusion, and finally something that looked almost like pity. "Oh, honey," she said softly, "you look nice." Nice. The word hit like a slap. Jordan turned around, resplendent in powder blue silk, and her mouth fell open. "Rosalie, what are you wearing?" "My prom dress." "But I thought you were going to help me with touch-ups at the venue." "I can still help, but I'm going too." The silence stretched between us like a chasm. Finally, Mum cleared her throat. "Well, I suppose we should get pictures." She positioned Jordan in front of the fireplace, adjusting her dress, fluffing her hair. "Beautiful, sweetheart. Absolutely radiant." Then she looked at me. "Rosalie, why don't you stand there?" She pointed to a spot slightly behind and to the left of Jordan. "Perfect." Click, click, click. Later that night, after prom, after dancing alone while Jordan held court with the popular kids, after coming home with mascara smudged and dreams deflated, I found Mom showing the photos to our neighbour, Mrs. Patterson. "Doesn't Jordan look stunning? She's just star material, that one. Natural born beauty." Mrs. Patterson squinted at the photos. And this is Rosalie? Oh yes, that's our little potato. Reliable as always, but... Mum's voice dropped to a whisper, but I heard every word from the kitchen doorway. She's just not star material. She's a potato. Reliable, but nothing to look at. That night, I packed my bags and my silence. I was done being the potato in a family of roses. It was time to plant myself somewhere else and see what I could grow. 3 years later, I was elbow deep in bread dough at 5 a.m. in a tiny bakery in Milan, speaking broken Italian to customers who barely noticed me. Funny how some things never change. Rosalie, table 7 wants another cornetto, called Marco, the owner, from behind the espresso machine. I wiped flour from my hands and grabbed the pastry, weaving between cramped tables filled with business people scrolling their phones. The morning rush was always chaos. Steam from the coffee machine, rapid-fire Italian, the constant ding of the register. I'd been in Milan for 8 months, working at Dolce Mattina during the day and attending fashion design classes at night on a partial scholarship. My Italian was getting better, my bank account wasn't, but for the first time in my life, I was invisible by choice, not because someone decided I wasn't worth seeing. Grazie, the customer at table 7 mumbled without looking up from his newspaper. I was turning to go back to the kitchen when someone cleared their throat behind me. Excuse me. I turned around. A man in his 30s sat at the corner table, expensive camera hanging around his neck, watching me with the kind of intensity that made my skin crawl. Great. Another tourist, who thought the local help was part of the scenery. Can I help you? I asked in English, recognising his American accent. You're not Italian. Very observant. He smiled at my sarcasm. I'm Drew. I work in fashion, scouting, mostly. And I've been sitting here for 20 minutes watching you move. My stomach dropped. Look, if this is some kind of... You have the most interesting face I've seen in years. I actually laughed. Right, good one. I'm serious. He pulled out his phone, showed me his Instagram, hundreds of thousands of followers, photos of models I recognised from magazines. This is what I do. And you have something most of these girls spend thousands trying to achieve. What's that? Authenticity. There's a sadness in your eyes, like the Mona Lisa, but also strength. The camera would love you. I stared at him, waiting for the punchline. When it didn't come, I shook my head. You've got the wrong girl. I'm nobody special. Who told you that? The question hit like a physical blow. I could hear Mom's voice, Jordan's laughter, years of being told I was the supporting character in everyone else's story. Everyone, I said quietly. Drew leaned forward. Well, everyone was wrong. Marco called my name from the kitchen, breaking the spell. I hurried away, but Drew didn't leave. He ordered coffee after coffee, watching me work, occasionally scribbling in a notebook. During my break, he approached again. I want to take some test shots, nothing weird, just headshots. See how you photograph. I don't have money for... No charge. I think you could be something special, but I need to see how the camera sees you. That afternoon, after my shift, I found myself in Drew's temporary studio, really just a rented apartment with good lighting. He was professional, respectful, talking me through poses while his camera clicked. Turn your chin slightly left. Good. Now look at me like I just told you something that surprised you. Click, click, click. You're a natural, he said, checking the shots on his camera. Look. He turned the screen toward me, and I barely recognised myself. The girl in the photo looked mysterious, striking even. Not pretty in the conventional sense, but arresting. This can't be me. It's you. This is how you really look when you're not trying to disappear. That night, I called my sister for the first time in months. I don't know why. Maybe I wanted to share this tiny spark of hope with someone who knew where I'd come from. Rosalie! Jordan's voice was bright, a fake. Oh my God! Where have you been? Mum's been worried sick. I'm in Milan. Milan? Like Italy, Milan? What are you doing there? Working. Learning. That's so random. Are you coming home soon? I'm getting married in the fall, and I really want you to be my maid of honour. Maid of honour. Translation. I need someone to handle all the grunt work while I look perfect. I can't. I'm busy. Busy with what? It's not like you're doing anything important. There it was. The casual dismissal, delivered with a laugh like it was a joke we both shared. I hung up without saying goodbye and blocked her number. 2 weeks later, Drew called with news that would change everything. I showed your photos to some people. There's interest. Real interest. What kind of interest? Paris Fashion Week. They're looking for fresh faces for the closing show. It's a long shot, but what? But they want to meet you. And Rosalie? Yeah. They want you to walk under your real name, Rosalie Quinn. I stared at my reflection in the bakery's window, flour still dusting my apron, and for the first time in my life, I didn't look away. When do we start? 6 months into my modelling career, I was scrolling through Instagram when I saw it. A puff piece in some lifestyle blog with the headline, "Local beauty Jordan Quinn opens up about her acting dreams." There was my sister, perfectly lit in what looked like a professional headshot, talking about her journey in the arts and her supportive family. The article mentioned her close-knit relationship with her parents and how they'd always believed in her star potential. Not one mention of me, like I'd never existed. I screenshotted it and sent it to Thea, my old friend from high school who'd somehow tracked me down through social media a few weeks earlier. My phone rang immediately. "Are you kidding me with this?" Thea's voice was sharp with anger. She's acting like she's some kind of celebrity when the biggest role she's ever booked was a commercial for a mattress store. "You've been keeping tabs?" "Honey, I'm a PR agent now. Keeping tabs is literally my job. And your family's delusion levels are off the charts." Thea had always been the only person who saw through my family's dynamics. While everyone else bought into the golden child narrative, she'd been the one sitting with me at lunch when I'd show up to school with red eyes from crying. "Want to know something interesting?" she continued. "I've been monitoring their social media since you left. Your mum posts about Jordan constantly, every audition, every headshot, every time she gets a call back. But you, radio silence. Like you vanished into thin air. Maybe that's for the best. Is it though? Because while you're over there becoming an actual model, they're still playing pretend back home." I was quiet for a moment, staring at the article. "What are you suggesting?" "I'm suggesting that maybe it's time they knew what they lost." That conversation planted a seed. Over the next few weeks, as I booked more jobs, small editorial spreads, a campaign for an Italian jewellery brand, I started working with Thea unofficially. She helped me navigate the social media side of modelling, building my presence strategically. "The key," she explained during one of our video calls, "is controlled mystery. Give them just enough to be intrigued, but not enough to get the full picture." I posted photos from shoots with my face partially obscured, a silhouette against Milan's skyline, my hands holding a coffee cup with just my lips visible, artistic shots that showed my work without revealing too much. "Your engagement is insane," Thea said, pulling up analytics on her laptop. "People are obsessed with figuring out who you are. Good or bad obsessed. The best kind. You're the mystery girl everyone wants to solve." Meanwhile, Drew was pushing me toward bigger opportunities. We'd developed an easy working relationship. He was professional, never crossed lines, but genuinely invested in my success. "There's a charity gala next week," he said over coffee near his studio. "High-profile fashion crowd. You should go." "I don't really do events." "That's exactly why you should go. The industry loves an enigma, but they also need to see you can handle the social side." The gala was at a palazzo in Milan's fashion district. I wore a simple black dress, nothing flashy, but well-tailored. The goal was to blend in, observe, maybe make a connection or two. I was standing near the bar, nursing a glass of wine, and watching Italy's fashion elite air kiss and network, when someone bumped into me. "Sorry, so sorry," the woman said, in accented English. She was stunning. Tall, sharp cheekbones, the kind of effortless elegance that screamed money and breeding. "No problem," I replied. "You're American?" "Yes." "Model?" "Sometimes." She laughed. "I like that answer. I'm Isabella. And you are mysteriously evasive." "Rosalie." "Ah, the mystery girl from Instagram. Everyone's been wondering about you." Before I could respond, a photographer appeared. "Isabella, can we get a quick shot for the event coverage?" "Of course." "Rosalie, join me." I started to decline, but Isabella linked her arm through mine. "Come on, one photo won't kill you." The photographer snapped a few shots of us laughing. Isabella had just whispered something funny about the man in the ridiculous bow tie behind us. For a moment, I forgot to be guarded. I just smiled. That photo went viral overnight. Not because of Isabella, though she was well known in fashion circles. It went viral because of me, specifically because someone zoomed in on my wrist and spotted the small tattoo I'd gotten in Milan. A tiny potato, simple line art, barely visible unless you were looking for it. The internet went crazy trying to decode it. Fashion blogs picked it up. Who is the mystery model with the potato tattoo became a trending topic. My phone exploded with notifications. Drew called laughing. Congratulations, you just became famous by accident. But it wasn't the fame that made my hands shake as I scrolled through the comments and reposts. It was the notification that popped up while I was reading them. A friend request on Instagram from Jordan. The messages started trickling in within hours of Jordan's friend request. First, a text from Mum. Honey, we saw some photos online. Is that really you? Call me. Then Jordan sliding into my DMs like we'd been chatting every day. OMG, Rosalie! I can't believe my little sister is a model now. So proud of you. We need to catch up ASAP. I screenshotted everything and sent it to Thea. They found you, she texted back immediately. What's the play? Ignore them. Or, hear me out. We could have some fun with this. My phone rang before I could respond. Think about it, Thea said without preamble. They spent years making you feel invisible. Now you're getting attention they could never dream of, and suddenly they want to be part of your story. What are you suggesting? Document everything. Every fake sweet message, every attempt to ride your coattails. Trust me, this is just the beginning. She was right. Over the next few days, the messages multiplied. Mum, we always knew you had potential, sweetheart. Remember how I used to say you had interesting features? I'm so glad you finally found your confidence. Jordan, I've been telling everyone about my model sister. Maybe we could do a shoot together. Sister goals. Even my dad emerged from his usual silence. Saw the article about you in that fashion magazine? Good for you, kiddo. What article? I googled myself and found it. A small piece in Vogue Italia about emerging faces to watch. They'd used the gala photo and mentioned my enigmatic presence and unconventional beauty. I was reading it when Drew called. We need to talk. Can you come to the studio? 20 minutes later, I was sitting across from him in his cluttered workspace, watching him pace. The Paris Fashion Week opportunity is real, he said, but there's a complication. What kind of complication? Someone's been digging into your background, asking questions about your family, your past. My stomach dropped. Who? I don't know yet. But whoever it is has connections. They've been reaching out to people back home, trying to get information about you. What kind of information? The kind that could be spun into a story. The ugly duckling narrative, family drama, whatever sells magazines. I thought about the messages from Mom and Jordan, their sudden interest in reconnecting. Do you think it's them? I don't know, but we need to be prepared. That evening, I was walking back to my apartment when my phone buzzed with a call from an unknown number. Hello? Rosalie? It's Isaac. Isaac Porter. I'm a designer working on the Paris show. I'd heard of him, young, talented, known for dramatic presentations that made headlines. How did you get this number? Drew gave it to me. We need to meet, tonight if possible. Why? Because someone's trying to sabotage your debut and I think I know who it is. An hour later, I was sitting in a wine bar near the Navigli, across from a man with sharp features and intense dark eyes. You're being played, Isaac said without preamble. The whole mysterious backstory angle. Someone's been feeding information to the press, but not the kind that makes you look good. What do you mean? I mean, there's a story being shopped around about the poor American girl with the tragic family situation who's using modelling as revenge against her beautiful sister. The words hit like ice water. I know it's not true. But truth doesn't matter if the story's compelling enough. Who would do that? Isaac leaned forward. Someone who benefits from you looking unstable or vindictive. Someone who wants you to fail. My phone buzzed. Another message from Jordan. I saw the Vogue piece. I'm so happy for you. Maybe I could visit Milan soon. I've always wanted to see Italy. We could make it a sister trip. I showed Isaac the message. He read it and shook his head. Classic. Plant the seed that you're estranged from your loving family, then swoop in publicly to reconcile right when you're getting attention. But how would she even know to do that? She doesn't have to be the mastermind. Someone could be coaching her, using her. I scrolled through the other messages, seeing them with new eyes. The timing, the language, the sudden shift from years of silence to overwhelming support. What do I do? Isaac smiled, and it wasn't entirely pleasant. You beat them at their own game. How? By controlling the narrative. You want to know something about me, Rosalie? I didn't get where I am by playing nice. I got here by being smarter than the people trying to tear me down. He pulled out his phone and showed me a photo, Jordan at some local event, looking slightly desperate in an ill-fitting dress. Your sister's been trying to book modelling gigs since your story broke. Posted this yesterday with the caption, "Following in my sister's footsteps." She has 12 likes. The contrast was stark. While I was being featured in actual fashion publications, Jordan was posing at what looked like a mall opening. The beautiful thing about revenge, Isaac continued, is that sometimes you don't have to do anything. Sometimes people destroy themselves trying to compete with you. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Mum. Jordan showed me her new headshots. You girls are both so beautiful. Maybe you could put in a good word for her with your contacts. I looked up at Isaac. When you said beat them at their own game, I meant give them exactly what they want. Let them think they're winning. And then? His smile widened. Then we show them what losing really looks like. The call came at 6 a.m, jarring me awake in my Milan apartment. Rosalie, we have a problem. Drew's voice was tight with stress. What kind of problem? Check your phone. Now. I fumbled for my laptop, still half asleep. The first headline made my blood freeze. Mystery models dark past. Family sources reveal years of troubling behaviour. The article was in a major fashion gossip blog, complete with quotes from anonymous family sources describing me as always jealous of her sister's success and desperate for attention since childhood. But the worst part was the photo. Me at 17, acne-scarred and awkward, cropped from one of those family pictures where I'd been pushed to the background. My phone was exploding with notifications. Missed calls from Drew, Isaac, even some numbers I didn't recognise. Who did this? I asked when Drew picked up. We're trying to figure that out. But Rosalie, there's more. More? Evelyn Hart wants to see you, today. She's the PR head for the fashion house running the Paris show. 2 hours later, I was sitting in a sterile conference room across from a woman who looked like she could cut glass with her cheekbones. Evelyn Hart was legendary in fashion, the kind of person who could make or break careers with a single phone call. Miss Quinn, she began, not looking up from her tablet. This is unfortunate. The article is full of lies. The truth is irrelevant. What matters is perception. She finally looked at me, her gaze cold and calculating. Right now, you're perceived as unstable, vindictive, using fashion as some kind of revenge fantasy against your family. That's not. I don't care what it is. I care about protecting our brand. The Paris show is the most important event of the season. We cannot have drama. My stomach sank. Are you dropping me? I'm considering it. The door opened and Isaac walked in, not bothering to knock. Evelyn, we need to talk. Isaac, this doesn't concern. It absolutely concerns me. She's wearing my design for the finale. You drop her, you drop my piece. Evelyn's expression didn't change, but I caught the slight tightening around her eyes. Your design can be worn by someone else. No, it can't. I designed it specifically for Rosalie, for her story, her look, her energy. You want to talk about brand protection? This girl is about to become the most talked about model in Europe. The question is whether we're part of that story or not. The article is desperate family members trying to cash in on her success. Anyone with half a brain can see that. Isaac pulled out his phone and showed Evelyn something. Look at her engagement numbers since the story broke. Look at the comments. People aren't buying the victim narrative. They're rallying around her. He was right. I'd been too panicked to really read the responses, but scrolling through them now, most were supportive. This sounds like jealous family drama. She's gorgeous and they're pressed about it. Classic ugly duckling revenge, and I'm here for it. Evelyn studied the phone, her expression unreadable. This could backfire spectacularly. Or it could be the most authentic moment fashion has seen in years, Isaac countered. Real story, real emotion, real transformation. Isn't that what everyone's hungry for? While they debated my fate, my phone buzzed with a notification Jordan had posted on TikTok. The video was a montage of photos, us as kids, family vacations, school events, set to emotional music. The caption read, "So proud of my baby sister for following her dreams. We've always been each other's biggest supporters." Xiao, sister love, Ralph Lodge, proud. Sister, nah, family first. The comments were already pouring in. "Your sister is so beautiful. You must be so proud. Family goals." I showed Isaac the video. His jaw tightened. "She's trying to rewrite history in real time." "What do I do?" "You tell your story, the real one." That evening I posted a single photo on Instagram. It was a mirror selfie, my back to the camera, showing the tattoo on my neck that most people hadn't seen yet. Simple text across my shoulder blades, plain Jane. The caption was even simpler. "Some stories have two sides, some have truth." Within an hour, it had thousands of likes and hundreds of comments. People were dissecting every detail, trying to understand the meaning behind the tattoo, the timing of the post. My phone rang. Mum's number. "Rosalie, honey, what are you doing? That post? People are asking questions." "What kind of questions?" "About the tattoo? About what you mean by truth. Sweetheart, we're family. We should handle this privately." "Like we handled everything else privately." "I don't understand why you're being so hostile. We've always supported you." "Have you?" Silence stretched between us. Finally, Mom's voice came back, smaller now. "I think there's been some misunderstanding. Maybe we should all sit down and talk when you come home." "I'm not coming home." "But Jordan's wedding." "I'm busy that weekend." "Doing what?" I looked at myself in the mirror, at the tattoo Isaac had helped me design, at the face that was finally being seen the way I wanted it to be seen. Walking in Paris Fashion Week. I hung up before she could respond. Isaac texted me an hour later. "Evelyn changed her mind. You're still in. But Rosalie?" "Yeah?" "Whatever you're planning for Paris, make it count. You won't get another chance like this." I stared at the message, then at Jordan's TikTok still playing on my phone, her fake smile frozen on the screen. "Don't worry," I typed back. "I will." The invitations arrived on cream-coloured cardstock with gold embossing. Very official, very exclusive. Ms. Meredith Quinn and Ms. Jordan Quinn are cordially invited to attend Paris Fashion Week as media assistant guests of Rosalie Quinn. I'd worked with Thea to craft the perfect wording. Formal enough to seem legitimate, specific enough to make them feel important, but with that little detail that would matter later. "Media assistant guests?" Thea had asked when we were designing them. "That's deliciously petty." "It's accurate. They'll be assisting with the media narrative." The responses came within hours. Mum called first, practically breathless with excitement. "Rosalie, honey, this is incredible. Paris Fashion Week. I can't believe our little girl is walking in Paris Fashion Week." "Our little girl?" "You know what I mean. I'm so proud of you. We both are." Jordan's text was even more effusive. "OMG Paris! This is like a dream come true. I can't wait to support you. Should I bring my portfolio just in case? You never know who might be there." I screenshotted everything and sent it to Isaac. "They took the bait," he texted back. "You sure about this?" "I'm sure." The next 2 weeks were a blur of fittings, rehearsals, and final preparations. Isaac's design was stunning. A flowing gown that looked deceptively simple from the front but revealed intricate cut-out details along the back and shoulders. Perfect for showcasing the full artwork I'd been working on. "The tattoo artist did incredible work," Isaac said during our final fitting, adjusting the dress's neckline. "When did you get the rest of it done?" I looked at myself in the mirror. The plain Jane text across my neck was just the beginning. Below it, in elegant script, were the words that had shaped my childhood. "Potato face." And underneath, in bold letters, "Watch me grow." Last week, I wanted to make sure it was healed in time. And you're ready for them to see it? I've been ready for years. The day before the show, Mum and Jordan arrived in Paris. I met them at their hotel. A nice place, but not luxury. I'd made sure of that. "Rosalie," Jordan rushed over in a cloud of expensive perfume and designer knockoffs. "You look amazing! Paris suits you." Mum was more reserved, studying my face like she was seeing me for the first time. You look different. I look like myself. Of course, honey, you look beautiful. You always have. Maybe we didn't know how to bring it out of you. The rewriting of history was happening in real time, just like Isaac had predicted. So what's the plan for tomorrow? Jordan asked, settling into the hotel bar like she owned the place. Will we be sitting front row? I brought my best dress, and I've been practicing my poses in case photographers want shots of us together. You'll be in the media section. Good view of the runway. Media section? That's what your invitation said. Media assistant guests. Mum frowned. What does that mean exactly? It means you'll be part of the story. Don't worry, you'll understand tomorrow. That evening, I had dinner with Drew and Isaac at a quiet bistro near the venue. Last chance to back out, Drew said, cutting into his steak. Once you walk that runway tomorrow, there's no taking it back. Good. Isaac raised his wine glass. To Rosalie, who's about to give Paris Fashion Week something they'll never forget. What exactly are you planning? Drew asked. You've been secretive about the details. I pulled out my phone and showed them the presentation Isaac and I had been working on. The runway would have screens on either side, and as I walked, they'd display a carefully curated slideshow. Drew scrolled through the images. Childhood photos where I was cropped out or pushed to the background, screenshots of the cruel comments, the prom photo where I stood behind Jordan like a shadow. Jesus, Rosalie. The final image, Isaac added, will be a split screen, Rosalie then, and Rosalie now. And your family will be watching this. They'll be part of it. The cameras will catch their reactions. Their faces will be part of the story. Drew set down his phone. This isn't just modelling. This is performance art. It's justice, I corrected. The next morning, I woke up to a text from Jordan. So excited for today. I hope some of the other designers notice me. Maybe this could be my big break too. And one from Mum. We're so proud to be here supporting you, sweetheart. This is a dream come true for our whole family. I got dressed slowly, methodically. The dress fit perfectly. The tattoos were healed and bold against my skin. In the mirror, I looked like someone I'd always wanted to be. Strong, striking, unapologetic. My phone buzzed with a voice message from Mum. Honey, we just got to the venue and there are so many cameras. This is incredible. We can't wait to see you shine, baby girl. We love you so much. I saved the message. Evidence of how quickly love could appear when there were cameras around. Isaac knocked on my dressing room door. It's time. How do I look? He smiled, and for the first time since I'd known him, it was completely genuine. Like someone who's about to change everything. I could hear the music starting, the crowd settling into their seats. Somewhere out there, Mum and Jordan were probably adjusting their hair and practicing their proud family member expressions. They had no idea what was coming. Let's go give them a show, I said. The music pulsed through the venue like a heartbeat. Backstage was controlled chaos. Models touching up makeup, designers making last-minute adjustments, assistants running around with clipboards and headsets. 5 minutes to finale, someone called out. I stood in the wings, watching the other models complete their walks. The audience was electric. Fashion editors, celebrities, buyers, all the people who decided what beauty meant in the world. You ready? Isaac appeared beside me, adjusting the final details of the dress. I've been ready for 7 years. Through a gap in the curtain, I could see the media section. Mum and Jordan sat in the third row, phones out, recording everything. Jordan kept checking her hair in her phone camera between shots. They look excited, Isaac observed. They should be. They're about to be famous. The model before me finished her walk and swept past us backstage. The music shifted, becoming deeper, more dramatic. This was it. Ladies and gentlemen, the announcer's voice boomed over the sound system, presenting our finale piece, Metamorphosis, worn by Rosalie Quinn. I stepped onto the runway. The lights were blinding at first, but I'd trained for this. 1 foot in front of the other, shoulders back, chin up. The dress flowed behind me like liquid silk, and I could feel the cutouts exposing my back, my shoulders, the artwork I'd carved into my skin. Cameras flashed like lightning. The audience was silent, mesmerised. Halfway down the runway, the screens on either side flickered to life. The first image appeared. Me at age 8, standing behind Jordan at a school play, barely visible in the background, while she took centre stage in a sparkly costume. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. I kept walking, my pace steady, deliberate. The next image flashed, me at 13, holding a camera at Jordan's birthday party while she posed with friends. I was cropped almost entirely out of the frame. The murmurs grew louder. In the media section, I could see Mom's face changing, confusion replacing her proud smile. Another step, another photo. Me at 15, standing awkwardly to the side while Jordan got fitted for homecoming dress. The shop assistant was literally turning away from me to focus on my sister. "Oh my God!" someone in the front row whispered. I reached the end of the runway and paused, turning slowly so the cameras could capture every angle. The dress was designed for this moment. As I turned, the back opened fully, revealing the complete tattoo. "Potato face," in bold letters across my shoulder blades. "Watch me grow," underneath in elegant script. The crowd gasped. Cameras went crazy, flashing so rapidly it looked like a strobe light. On the screens, more images appeared in rapid succession. The prom photo where I stood behind Jordan like a shadow. Screenshots of family social media posts where I was tagged but never featured. The cruel nicknames written out in stark text. I began walking back, and the final image appeared on the screens. It was a split screen. On the left, me at 17, acne-scarred and miserable, holding a camera at yet another family event. On the right, me now, walking this runway, owning this moment. The caption appeared below, "They never saw me coming." The audience erupted. Not just polite Fashion Week applause, but genuine shock and awe. People were standing, phones out, capturing every second. I reached the end of the runway and stopped, facing the crowd. For a moment, I let my gaze sweep across the entire venue. Fashion editors were frantically typing on their phones. Celebrities looked stunned. The energy in the room was electric, dangerous. Then I found them. Mum and Jordan sat frozen in their seats. Mum's face was white, her mouth slightly open. Jordan looked like she'd been slapped, her phone hanging limply in her hand. Our eyes met across the crowded venue. I didn't smile. I didn't wave. I just looked at them with the same steady gaze I'd perfected over years of being invisible. Then I turned and walked off the runway. Backstage was pandemonium. Isaac grabbed me the moment I stepped off. "That was incredible! The whole place is going insane." Drew appeared, grinning widely. "Rosalie, I've never seen anything like it. The phones, the cameras, everyone's posting about it. How did it look from out there?" "Like justice," he said simply. My phone was already exploding with notifications, but I ignored them. There would be time for the aftermath later. "Miss Quinn?" A young assistant approached nervously. "There are some people here to see you. They say they're your family." Through the backstage chaos, I could see them, Mom and Jordan, looking small and out of place among the fashion industry professionals. Mum's carefully applied makeup was smudged, and Jordan's confident posture had crumbled. "Tell them I'm busy," I said, "but they're quite insistent." "Tell them," I repeated, louder this time, "that I'm busy." Isaac squeezed my shoulder. "You did it." "We did it!" My phone buzzed with a voice message, Mom's number. I almost deleted it, but something made me listen. Her voice was shaky, desperate. "Rosalie, honey, please, we need to talk. I know how this looks, but you have to understand. We were only trying to protect you. We thought if we didn't build up your hopes, you wouldn't get hurt when things didn't work out. We were wrong, but we were trying to protect you." I saved the message and put my phone away. Protection. That's what they were calling it now. The music was still playing, the show continuing, but my part was done. I had finally been seen. The headlines started appearing before I even left the venue. Fashion Week, shocker. Model exposes family abuse in stunning runway reveal. The potato face that launched 1,000 conversations. Rosalie Quinn's revenge, when high fashion meets raw truth. Drew found me in my dressing room, scrolling through the coverage on my phone. "You need to see this," he said, showing me his screen. "It's everywhere. CNN, BBC, even the morning shows back home are picking it up." The video of my walk had already been viewed millions of times. Comments poured in from people sharing their own stories of being the overlooked sibling, the family scapegoat, the one told they weren't good enough. "This is so much bigger than fashion," I said, reading through them. That was the point, wasn't it? My phone rang. Thea's name flashed on the screen. "Holy shit, Rosalie! Do you know what you just did?" I walked a runway. "You just became the most famous model in the world. My phone hasn't stopped ringing. Interview requests, brand deals, documentary offers. Everyone wants to talk to you." "What about them?" "Your family?" "Oh, honey, Jordan's Instagram is getting destroyed. People are posting screenshots of her old posts about you, calling her out for the fake sister act. And your mom..." Thea paused. "Someone found her Facebook posts from when you left. The ones where she told people you were going through a phase and would come crawling back when reality hit." I wasn't surprised, but hearing it confirmed still stung. "There's more," Thea continued. "Jordan lost her mattress commercial. The company said they don't want to be associated with family abuse. And that wedding she was planning? Apparently, her fiancé is having second thoughts about marrying into that kind of family. I never wanted to destroy her life." "You didn't destroy anything, Rosalie. You just turned on the lights." That evening, I walked alone through Paris, needing space to process everything. The city was beautiful at night, all golden lights and ancient stones. I found myself at a small cafe near the Seine, ordering coffee and watching people pass by. Most of them didn't recognise me. The dramatic runway makeup was gone, replaced by my natural face. I was just another girl in Paris, except for the tattoo peeking out from my collar. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Hi, Rosalie. This is your dad. I know we haven't talked in years, and I know I failed you. I should have protected you from what was happening in our house. I was a coward, and I'm sorry. I saw what you did today, and I want you to know. I'm proud of you. I always was, even when I was too weak to say it. I found something I think you should have." The next message was a photo. It was old, faded at the edges. Me as a little girl, maybe 6 years old, holding a toy camera and grinning at whoever was taking the picture. On the back, in my father's handwriting, "She sees the world they can't." I stared at the photo for a long time, remembering that little girl who just wanted to be seen, to matter, to be enough. My phone rang, Isaac's name. "Where are you? We're celebrating at Le Maurice. The whole fashion world is here, and they all want to meet you." "I'm not really in a party mood." "Rosalie, you just changed the entire conversation about beauty, family, authenticity. Do you understand what you've accomplished?" I looked around the cafe, at the ordinary people living their ordinary lives, and realised something had shifted inside me. The anger that had driven me for so long was still there, but it felt different now. Cleaner, like it had served its purpose. "I'll be there in an hour." The party was everything Isaac had promised. Champagne, influential people, congratulations from designers whose names I'd only read in magazines. But the moment that mattered most came when a young girl, maybe 16, approached me nervously. "Excuse me, are you Rosalie?" "Yes." "I just wanted to say thank you. I'm the ugly sister too, and seeing what you did tonight, it made me feel like maybe I'm not as invisible as I thought." She walked away before I could respond, but she didn't need to stay. She'd already given me everything I needed to hear. Drew appeared beside me with 2 glasses of champagne. "So, what's next for the girl who broke the internet?" I thought about the offers Thea had mentioned, the opportunities that would come from this moment. But mostly I thought about that little girl with the toy camera and how she'd grown into someone who could finally light up the stage. "I think," I said, raising my glass, "I'm just getting started." The cameras flashed around us, but for once I wasn't trying to disappear from the frame. Turns out being the one in the shadows makes you really good at lighting the stage.